First of all, I want to say thank you all for being here. I hope you're having an amazing time and that you're all getting out of a certain comfort zone and meeting people that you don't know. There are a lot of longevity conferences that are happening these days all over the world, and a lot of the same people are there. And what we've really tried to be exceptional at in this particular conference is to expand our audiences and diversify them. So we have people from many different communities here: crypto, decentralized science, government, even general public. We've offered opportunities for newbies to come in and learn new things about our field because we need to build the community. We are all about advocacy, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Whether you know it or not, if you're talking about longevity, you are advocating. And so we want to thank you for being here. Tell all your friends that you're even interested in this field, and I'll explain why. But with that said, I'm going to do 4 things today. We're going to do some housekeeping. I'm going to talk about what's happening upstairs. I'm going to give a little bit of a bio on myself because I know a lot of you are curious about me and I've heard plenty about the organization. We'll do a talk, and then Keith is going to join me, and we're actually going to do a Q&A, so you can ask us anything you want about our organization. All right, so with that said, I don't know if everyone is aware, but we do have an upstairs, and there are 2 big rooms up there. One of them is another workshop room with seating and a stage and is being live streamed, and the other is a VIP and media room, which is pretty open, and if you need a quiet place to go, it's available. But there are some amazing talks that are happening in the workshop room. So today at 11:25, and again, if you scan the QR code on the back of your badge and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a panel on spotting snake oil in the longevity industry that's going to be hosted by SENS. And actually, it's funny because it says insights for differentiating real science from crap. Completely rhetorical, assertive pseudoscience. Then we're going to have a second hands-on crypto wallet workchain by Vida Dow and WeaveChain. And we have a special guest today. We have BitBoy Crypto. Anyone know who he is? Well, if you don't, you'll find out, but he's a massive celebrity influencer trying to make cryptocurrency mainstream, so he'll also be facilitating that. If you don't have a crypto wallet, if you don't understand the value of getting tokens for Vida Dow and being able to make decisions on investments in early stage research, and our new Lifespan.io novel philanthropic proof of philanthropy NFT, that's where you're going to learn everything. It's literally a workshop where you walk through the steps and you can do it on your phone in real time. So it's going to be really exciting. We will also have a panel on clinical trials in non-US special economic development zones. I know that there are a bunch of startups here that are either aspiring to go into clinical trials or are already on their way, and maybe they're having a lot of challenges. There are some alternatives that you don't know about, so this panel will be discussing that. So definitely check that out. That one is happening at 2 o'clock. At 3:10, there's going to be a panel on longevity startups, so the difference between longevity biotechs and traditional biotechs, and kind of this gray area that they have to straddle when talking to investors or the public, right? How do you narrate what your goals are? And one thing in my talk today is the importance of that narrative. So if you want to hear about 3 startup founders who have gone through this experience and give you their tips and tricks and challenges and guidance, that's where you should be. We'll also have Giro, our main sponsor, Ask Me Anything, where we'll talk to the CEO, and you can learn more about that organization. We'll have another one with our other sponsor, Maxwell Biosciences, to learn about extending health span with synthetic immune systems. And we will close out the day upstairs with a discussion on longevity storytelling and how media shapes progress. So with that said, a little bit about me, and more importantly, why I got into this field. So my father was born in the 1930s, and he had me in his 50s. So I grew up with older parents that had age-related diseases. He had a heart attack before I was born. There was a huge age gap. We didn't really connect, and he was always afraid of death. I mean, every other week it was some scare, and he would go to the hospital. So to live a life like that, or to experience your parent living a life like that, has an impression on you. When I was in high school, I discovered Ray Kurzweil. If you don't know who he is, he's a futurist. He is trying to upload your brain to the cloud. He has this theory of singularity, man and machine merging, technology transcending biology. Regardless of whether or not you believe in it, or if I believe in it, I like that he was thinking outside the box. He was really challenging assumptions, and it was interesting to me and exciting. All the while, I really wanted to change how society interacted with one another. I wanted to do social good, leveraging influencers, because at the time, celebrities were really influential. You get Matthew McConaughey or whatever, people follow what he did. I didn't know why, but they did. And so I wanted to get into entertainment and kind of exploit that for good. So when I went to college, I studied philosophy, politics, and law, and I just wanted to get into entertainment. I didn't understand how the world worked. So I started my career working in TV commercial production, celebrity marketing, advertising. Business development was kind of the underlying theme. But the interesting thing was a lot of it was surrounding how do you get products in front of people? And it wasn't resonating. I didn't care. I wanted to change minds. I didn't want to sell something, a product, maybe an idea. And so it got to the point where I remembered Ray Kurzweil, and I was like, I want to work in future tech. I want to change the world for the better. So I got my dream job at Singularity University, which he started in Silicon Valley, and I managed the global partnerships with Deloitte and Becton Dickinson, Pfizer, and my job was to go to these executives and tell them that the future is going to look a lot different than you're expecting. You're going to be disrupted by a completely different industry, not just because of the acceleration, but the convergence of technology. And so what are you going to do about it? You're going to get blockbustered, you're going to get Kodaked, unless you learn about these exponential technologies that we'll teach you about, and you adopt one of them and modify your business model accordingly. So that was my job, and I loved it, okay? But here was the problem. Actually, before the problem, there's one other thing you should know. I started with meeting all these deep tech entrepreneurs, and they would come out of their very narrowed and focused academic career paths, and they'd say, hey, I have an idea, I'm gonna save the world. VC, invest in me. And the VCs, if they're lucky, would actually respond and say, well, where's your business model? How do I get the ROI? Have you understood my portfolio strategy? So I started talking to these people, and again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a technologist. I kind of felt like an imposter. But after a while, they started implementing some of my advice. And one of my clients, because I was consulting, asked me to co-found a deep tech drug discovery and drug development company. So we were actually leveraging all the exponential technologies that I was talking about at Singularity University, machine learning, AI, robotics, automation, to do high throughput screening of a novel model organism. My partner wanted to work on C. elegans. I said, why? I had her really challenge that assumption. And apparently, historically, C. elegans had a huge megaphone, right? It didn't mean, though, that other model organisms weren't good. They just didn't have that amplification, which is also part of why Lifespan exists, to amplify the message and to let people know about all the other options. And so we changed the model, and within 6 weeks of reframing that with a good narrative, offered us investment. That was my moment where I'm like, okay, I can provide value. So the partnership didn't work out, and it didn't matter. But at that point, my father passed away. Now, he passed away right as I was getting that opportunity, and he was obsessed with my career. So if you think about your parents or your friends and family, they've been sick. You've seen people get older and suffer and die. That was rough, really rough, that he couldn't experience that joy. And so with Lifespan.io and with me personally, it's more about reducing suffering, ending age-related diseases. Whether or not your goal is to be a transhumanist, to upload your mind, to live forever, it doesn't matter, because the first step that we have to take is the same step, which is understand aging. And in order to do that, we need more funding, we need more knowledge, we need more collaboration, we need a united voice so we can operate together more effectively and get on board with the mainstream. So I ended up coming to Lifespan.io, and I said I want to help. So I ended up working with Keith and advising the executive team. They asked me to join the board, and exactly a year ago they asked me to step into this role as executive director, and it has been an incredible 12 months. I am honored to work with these individuals. I want to thank everyone from the Lifespan.io team and the board for everything. And my goal is to serve you and to serve this community. Use me as a tool. I am not the scientist, but I want to amplify what you guys are doing. And I think that Lifespan.io has the power to do that. So now I will read something that we put together. How am I doing on time? Not good. Not at all. Should I read fast? Okay. Hopefully someone who's watching online, this resonates with you, and someone will watch it in 5 years and be inspired. That's the goal of this. So yesterday, Kenneth Bogner from the Montana Senate emphasized the profound significance of care in selecting ambassadors and shaping the messages that they convey. His words remind us that the power of our movement and the message of lasting impact requires nothing less than precision and thoughtfulness. And that is precisely what we embody at Lifespan.io. A warm welcome to each of you. We are gathered here as a community. We are gathered here today, I'm kidding. We're gathered here as a community that transcends boundaries, a community devoted to a common cause, the pursuit of extending and enriching human life. Lifespan has been at the forefront of this noble journey for nearly a decade, known not only for our steadfast commitment, but also for our unwavering dedication to responsible and quality-driven science content and our deep engagement with diverse audiences. Our platform, a beacon of knowledge and understanding, has become a haven for the curious minds across the planet. With between 200,000 to 500,000 monthly visitors on our website each, and millions of subscribers across our various YouTube channels, we are a force of education and inspiration. You may have already witnessed the captivating videos on display right outside, a testament to our mission's reach, including the illustrious Life Noggin channel, which we own, boasting over 3 million subscribers. In unity with incredible partners such as VitaDow, SENS, True Diagnostic, Hollywood Health and Society, OneSkin, we illuminate the path of scientific discovery, bridging the gap between the intricate research and the eager public. A decade of existence has shaped Lifespan.io into one of the foremost nonprofits in the longevity domain. As Keith mentioned yesterday, our journey began with crowdfunding and advocacy, and then we expanded into education and news. But our canvas extends beyond these domains. We are architects of connection, introducing individuals and organizations, actively supporting collaborations. Over the past 10 years, we've witnessed the rapid expansion of the longevity field, generating a crucial need for a clear roadmap to promote unity and coherence among varied parties and spectators. We stand as stewards of progress, equipping scientists, investors, decision makers, and all fellow community members with the tools that they need to navigate this complex landscape. Our purpose is to facilitate cross-pollination, accelerate progress, and to spark those serendipitous connections that often transform challenges into triumphs. An embodiment of this ethos is our Longevity Investor Network, a clear demonstration of our core commitment to integrating knowledge and networks into a foundation of wisdom and opportunity. If you're a startup or you're an investor, reach out. Let's get you in there. Now let's dive straight into the core of our efforts, advocacy. It's our resounding call to action, reaching out to welcome new perspectives while shaping an environment that nurtures our collective progress. We stand witness to the dynamic growth of longevity, captivating minds and sparking curiosity. It's our responsibility to skillfully ride this wave, elevating our united cause to a prominent global position. The conference exemplifies our commitment to collaborative discourse, an embodiment of our unwavering pursuit. However, let's take a moment to consider something. While our progress has been notable, we have not reached the pinnacle seen in the monumental campaigns that propelled cancer, AIDS, and Alzheimer's into global prominence. Consider the example of climate change. Once relegated to scholarly circles, it now commands worldwide attention. Irrespective of differing viewpoints, we cannot deny the remarkable impact achieved. We need to do this. Advocacy holds the power to open doors to unparalleled resources, to well-informed regulations, and to the unfolding of our collective determination. Consider this: every conversation, every presentation, every interaction, as I mentioned earlier, possesses the capacity to kindle a flame, to attract fresh champions to our mission and inscribe our pursuit into the pages of history. Yet with power comes responsibility. The narrative, the message, the very essence that we project into the world must be meticulously crafted. Here at Lifespan.io, we possess the expertise to shape the discussion, to counter the misconceptions that are a really big deal, and to ignite curiosity. We tread this delicate line between generating excitement without overpromising and educating without oversimplifying. We teamed up with Chris Hemsworth Center, and we've embraced new horizons. This uncommon yet highly strategic partnership is a fusion of science and celebrity that effectively bridges the scientific community and a vast and celebrated influencer fan base, providing a model for innovation and showcasing the potential of collaborating in a novel way. By the way, today we do have a celebrity in the building. Actually, two. We have Dan Churchill from Chris Hemsworth's team, who will be hanging out at the center booth, and we also have BitBoy Crypto, who's a cryptocurrency mainstream enthusiast who's trying to do what we're doing with longevity and bring it to the public. As our community navigates this complex journey of becoming more accepted in mainstream, we need to continue engaging in open and honest discussions with tangible processes and outcomes. We can't just complain to one another. We can't just say, why isn't this working, or this is what I'm doing. What can we do, and how do we do it tomorrow? In science, we address issues like reproducibility, incentives, and fundamental underpinnings of our findings. Similarly, our advocacy encounters its own set of challenges with directions sometimes unclear. Let's face the facts. The public often feels lost in a sea of uncertainty, struggling to discern whom or what to trust from our community. We must also admit that our field hasn't fully grasped all of the diverse audiences or addressed misconceptions as effectively as we should. While we might have different viewpoints and short-term goals, a shared overarching objective really binds us. This calls for tolerance and a determined effort to improve our collective impact through collaborative problem solving, deduplication of efforts, and efficient resource allocation. Lifespan.io serves as a hub that supports all of this, evident from the participation of nearly 40 media and knowledge partners in this program alone. 40. To wrap up, let these thoughts reverberate, an urgent call to engage, a shared purpose that aligns. So as we venture across the intricate terrains of science and humanity, let's stay committed to a central goal, our relentless pursuit of knowledge and understanding, our drive for a longer and healthier life, and the common bond of human experience. To accelerating progress together and solving aging. Thank you so much. I would like to do 5 minutes of Q&A. We might be setting the schedule back, but I'd like to invite President and Founder Keith Comito up to the stage. And if anyone has questions about the organization, history, present, future, we're happy to answer.